Over the past few years, I've heard this new narrative asking if men hate women because of the rise of the manosphere and those content creators. I personally believe that it is not the case. I just think men now have a voice to share their thoughts and experiences, no different than women did over the past few decades with their talk shows and their music, where they say men ain't shit and they don't want no scrubs. I just find it funny now that when men have a voice and can say what they want, now we are woman haters, and now we need to be tactful and this, that, and the other, where women had no care, no world about doing any type of thing like that when they was voicing their opinion. I think men are just frustrated with the modern dating scene and how society stuff works. When you talk about sex, marriage, approaching women, paying for dates, and you factor in feminism and all this new wave feminism and saying women are equal to men, but then women aren't acting like the equal when it comes to money and stuff like that. And I think men are perfectly within our rights to voice our opinions on that, especially when there are truth and logic within it. Of course, within every fan base or within every channel, there's going to be stands who take stuff too far, but those stands don't represent the majority. Most of us just love the content and happy to have these discussions and experiences shared with other guys. And to be honest, until this stuff started coming out, me and I believe a lot of other guys thought it was just us experiencing this. Luckily for me, I have a friend group who I could talk about my stuff with, but not every guy has that. Now men finally have that. We could talk about what we like to talk about, and now we're getting all these crazy labels because of a few assholes. Nah, we're not going to buy into that. I'm of the opinion when somebody says something ridiculous and there's clear evidence of being ridiculous, call them out on being ridiculous and ignore them and keep going about what you're doing. People say stuff like these men hate women because they're voicing their opinions, or they're watching men who voice their opinions on certain topics that women voiced their opinions on before. I think those people are doing nothing more than try to stop a conversation or hinder free thought and free speech. Because unless you're trying to tell people to harm others, there's really no harm in what the person is saying. Because at the end of the day, women and men have the choice, at least if you live in the West and you live in the United States and other Western countries. And from my understanding, that's the majority of the people who watches the Manosphere and the majority of people who watches the womanly content that doesn't agree with the Manosphere. We're all free to voice our opinions, and you shouldn't be trying to shut any people down or try to give them a label to dehumanize them so you can make it easier to silence them later on because you don't like what they say. In my opinion, I think men are just frustrated with how things are, and we need to work about fixing that thing so we can all work together. Because we're not going to get anywhere in society or as a species or civilization if we can't come together and have serious conversations about the stuff that we don't like when it comes to dating or just interacting with each other. There will always be a minority who wants to trip up the conversation or wants to act like an asshole because they can't control themselves or because they can't control their emotions. We don't need to let those people paint the picture for everybody else, because at that point, we're never going to get anywhere. But that's my opinion. It's your boy Logos, and I'll see y'all next time.